And just look at that. That is a fantastic display. Let me tell you, welcome to the garden here at BID. We've got a fantastic show coming up for you. Let me tell you, these hanging baskets are superb. Now, we're not talking about just the one, but there are 4 in this particular collection and are extraordinary value and are definitely a big favourite with everyone here at BID Plus. 4 of them for £14.99, and these are the easy fill variety. Now, to order from us here at BID Plus, of course, all you need is the item number up there, HG137210. That's the item number. They're £14.99 plus your UK P&P. All you need to do to order them, of course, is give us a call right now on 0911 690 1010, or of course you can order online at bidplus.tv. And if you order anything more or £50 or more than £50, of course you know by now, don't you? Currently there is no UK P&P to pay, and just look at the abundance of flowers that you can get from these easy fill hanging baskets. They are absolutely superb. In this kit you're going to get 4 of the 12-inch easy fill hanging baskets, HG137210. But our green-fingered gardening goddess is with us.
Thank you, Mark.
Our Angela. We couldn't do it without you, could we, my darling? And these are superb. Tell us why.
Well, I don't think a garden could do without these now. These are such a great invention. This has to be the easiest hanging basket you're ever going to plant up. And what's great about it, not when it's manufactured in the UK.
Yes.
Great news. Made from recycled plastic, but it is a unique design. And it's a design, this basket was actually designed for use, commercial use. It was used for, to be used to make hanging baskets for pubs, for restaurants, for town halls and councils.
That's where we see them, don't we? We see fantastic hanging baskets. Even my local train station, Clapham Junction, has got some gorgeous hanging baskets. And the pubs around London, pubs around the whole of the UK are looking fantastic by using these professional styles, but they're professional for a reason, Angela, aren't
well,
they?
they are, because they've got a unique system. This unique gate system holds the plants in place, and by holding the plants in place, it also has air to circulate round them.
Yeah.
That means the plants are going to get optimum growing space and conditions. And, you know, we've got a basket up here that you can see already is getting covered in summer flowers, but can you see how it's getting covered in flowers, but actually where's the basket gone?
Exactly.
The basket is still there. You can just about see the gates there underneath, but it is getting covered up. So we love our summer baskets, whether or not it's summer flowering, geraniums, petunias, begonias, doesn't matter what we plant in them, we love to see colour in our gardens. So I think the key to this basket, though, really, Mark, is in how easy they are to plant up.
Right.
So
now,
should I plant one up for you?
before you do, just explain to us why we've got this well though in the centre there.
Okay. Now, with most plants or plant pots that you grow, you want to have the right balance for watering your plants. So you've got a well there that will hold onto rainwater or water when you water it.
Yeah.
But you also have a drainage hole that means it will never get waterlogged. So that's really clever design.
The other thing I noticed as well, obviously I'm observing hanging baskets now. I've been working with you, and I saw a lovely one in a town centre the other day, and it had this massive lining on the inside.
There's no lining required with these, but nice deep growing space, so you're going to get enough space for your roots.
Well, I'll let you put some compost in there. While you do that, Angela, let's give everyone that item number, because you're on the phones for these already. Don't miss them. They're always so popular, and they do sell really quickly. Remember, it's not just 1 or 2. It's 4 of them, 4 altogether of the 12-inch, and you can see how much the 12-inch ones really fill out once they've got the flowers and their plants in there. HG137210, that's the item number. Quote that number to the operator when you call up right now on 0911 690 1010, or of course you can order online at bidplus.tv. So Angela's popped some compost in. Let's see how
now I've put compost in the bottom, and what's lovely about this is nice deep growing space. So I've got my compost in to create a bed for my flowers. Then I'm going to take a plant, and what's great about this system is that you take the plant, place it through the hole, and it has a neck that naturally beds the plant in. Use the gate system, and then it holds that plant in place, and it doesn't matter how wet and windy it gets. My lovely marigold is going nowhere except growing.
Can I just say, don't do what a certain person in Rochdale tried to do, and she tried to feed her plants through that gap. because my mother didn't realise this piece came out.
Oh, right, yes.
Sorry, Mum.
So no, but no, that's a very interesting point, because...
She does now, though, Angela.
Well, when they arrive with the gates probably already in them, in which case the good news for you is that you can take the gate out, but you can put the gate in time and time again, which means you can reuse these.
Exactly, and look, this is an investment you're making now, but for this summer, for next summer, even in the winter pansies and so on, we can plant them out with winter colour, can't we, Angela?
Can we say hello to your lovely mum then?
Of course you can. Hello, Shirley. Say hello to
Shirley. Lovely to see you. Well, Shirley, if you take a picture of your basket and give it to Mark, it would be lovely to see how your basket grows during the summer months.
Well, she's been admiring some of your rose geraniums, and you know the blackleaf ones. She's after those as well.
Oh, those are lovely, lovely, lovely.
She's onto her plants now.
It is, I mean, isn't that what it's about though, Mark? It's about enjoying your gardening. It's about making gardening easy. And just like your mum, sometimes we've all had mistakes in our gardening, and I certainly, over the years, have had some really disappointing results with baskets. And one of the main problems I have had with baskets is that I've ended up one side has grown well, one side hasn't. I haven't quite worked out why, and it could be a matter of reasons, but most likely was that I planted plants either too close to each other, they were fighting for space, whatever the reason is. This way, I don't even think about it. I'm not even looking. I'm looking at you.
Well, that's the nice thing, that they are all exactly even. Those root balls are all exactly even. Well, Angela will just tip it up and show you how much room they've got to breathe, how much room those roots have got to develop.
Yeah, and they've all got their personal space.
Yes,
so they're all
exactly.
happy. And as they grow, they will cover the outside of the basket. This is easy gardening.
And that's just the start. I mean, you can see how much coverage we've got there before we've even started to grow the plants. And then behind, look how much more will grow. Well, and then you can obviously add more to the top, can't you?
Yeah, and you choose, obviously, if you want to put more trailing plants in, I would put probably petunias, begonias, fuchsias growing around the outside, probably better trailers than those marigolds, but just for the purposes of showing you how easy it is to plant up.
Well, you've even done strawberries, Angela, haven't you?
Yep, and tumbling tomatoes, herbs. Lovely to put things like you know, herbs and fragrant plants in here as well.
Well, you've got four of them. You've got four of them. So think at home where you would love to have this real fabulous display of colour. Is it going to be maybe either side of the front door? Is it going to be by, you know, either side of the garage door or something like that? Or out at the back in the patio area? If you've got a small balcony, perhaps they could go in a bracket on the wall and look fantastic. Wherever you want that colour, that real fantastic display, these will do it for you, and you're getting four of them for that one low price, delivered to your place in a matter of days by simply giving us a call. And by the way, if you want some compost, we will give you some details of the compost as well, or look out for it on the show. Now, a few more of the marigolds going in.
And again, I mean, this is just to show you how quickly you can plant up a basket. But again, last job is the chain, and the chain is galvanized steel, so it's going to stay looking shiny, and they've got a three-prong chain with holes ready for me to put the chain in. Well done, Angela.
Brilliantly done, I must say. Look, if you want these, don't miss them. They are going to go. They fly out every single time. You can see the result behind us as well. HG137210. That's your item number, so make sure you can grab yours right now. They're £14.99. Give us a call right now, 0911 690 1010, and don't miss out. Great to have your company, as always, in the garden here at Bib Plus. I'm Mark Pickett. We're taking you off to the Mediterranean now for our next idea for you, and a great value again, £9.99 for a pair of beautiful fan palms. Just look at the shapes you can get in the garden with these gorgeous palms. They're £9.99. HG133872 is that all-important item number if you want to go ahead and order these. 0911 690 1010 is our phone number. And Angela, already these seem like beautifully established plants, don't they?
These are lovely palm. They have such an interesting shape to their leaves as they grow. Really tactile. But you get two of these, remember. This is a really lovely journey. And over the years, these will get established in your garden and probably they can grow over 1 metre tall, so, or even 1.5 metres tall, so 3, 4 foot, 5 foot.
Wow, really?
Over the years, they don't grow overnight, they're slow growing. And initially, I would probably grow these in pots because during their young years, so these will grow for decades, I mean 10, 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
So number one is by growing them in a pot. If you're not sure if you're going to stay in your house, you've got obviously the palm that you can take with you if you move. But also by having them in a pot, because they're still a young plant, I think I would want to have this, it's hardy to about -6. But I think I would rather this until probably it's about 5 years old. It's probably about 2 years old now. I would have this growing in my garden in a pot until it's about 5 years old,
now,
then leave it outdoors.
We're used to seeing palms when we go to Spain, when we go to the Canary Islands, when we go to Greece and places like that, aren't we? We're not that used to seeing palms in the UK, but you mentioned they were hardy down to about -6, which is fantastic news.
It is, and by having these outside in your garden, by all means, put them into the ground. If you do have these into the ground in a border, they will look lovely because you've got the contrast of these lovely leaves against regular plants.
Yeah.
But then in the winter, just mulch it well around the top. That means put some extra compost or some manure around the top, or even something like you can get fleeces that you can put around plants.
Tell me about the fleeces.
Yes, but I would protect the crown of it, the base of it, during severe frosts or severe snowy weather. And that's if you want to have it in a border. But if you put it into a pot, by all means bring it in and enjoy it as a houseplant during the winter months. I think sometimes we can get 365 days of interest and use out of Mediterranean plants by using them as houseplants during the winter.
Look, I'm thinking as well, you know, what about your conservatory? If you've got a conservatory and a nice sunny spot where it comes in, this in a corner there is going to look fantastic, isn't it?
Perfect plant for a conservatory. It's beautiful. You wouldn't need to water it too much. It's really attractive. It's really tactile. I love touching these leaves, but it does add the tropics to your home, your garden. It's interesting, but the nursery plants are just spectacular quality. I love these leaves. I love the fan shape of them and how they grow. And when you see the mature pictures...
this one out of the way, Angela, so you can just show us that one, because it is just like a fan, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And it just keeps producing more and more of those amazing fans as it grows.
Aren't they lovely?
And it has a spectacular impact when it matures. So it's an interesting plant to grow, but the value that you're getting, a mature one of these can be hundreds of pounds.
Can it really?
So really, you're growing one of the most amazing palms, really lovely, and year after year, just get more and more impact in your garden.
Look, I think the fact that these are mature plants already, the value is extraordinary. We've seen it before with our citrus trees and our bay trees that you may have seen on Bid Plus as well. Look at that price. £9.99 not just for one of them, but you're getting 2 of them. And of course, anything that comes to you from the garden department comes delivered to you fresh from the nursery, not the garden centre, but the nursery that supplies the garden centres, and they come to you in their own little mini greenhouses, so they're nice and freshly delivered to your place. If you'd like them, then give us a call now. HG 133 872 is the item number. You can order in one of 2 ways, either by giving us a call right now on 0911 690 1010. You'll talk to our real person on the end of the phone. They'll take your order for you and your payment and your delivery details, or you're welcome to order online at bidplus.tv. So where do these come from originally?
Well, these actually come from Spain. So they are used to dry conditions, but also they're used to change in temperatures. And a lot of these palms actually, whether or not they grow in Chile or they grow in countries like that, you'll find that a lot of the temperatures drop dramatically at night time.
That's true.
So a lot of these palms are used to extreme temperatures. I like this particular variety because if you are new to growing palms, I'm going to say something really strange, but this is a palm that behaves itself.
Now, Angela knows her plants. Let me tell you, at home, she treats them like children, don't she? So if this is a palm that behaves itself, she'll love that.
Well, it does, because as the leaves grow, they keep looking good.
Okay.
They don't take over. They don't get over show-offy. They don't spread themselves all over the place, and they don't have spiky bits that are dangerous.
And let me tell you, she wouldn't bring us a plant that misbehaved itself, would you? You wouldn't dream of it.
Well, but it's also, you know, it's not got sharp bits on it that are going to hurt me. Okay, it has some spines on its stems as they grow, but that's nature's way of stopping animals eating them.
Yeah, there's a few little spikes on, the stems,
but the actual leaves, the bits that actually touch us, they're not sharp and they're lovely. They don't weather badly, they weather really well, because as the rain and the wind blows through these, you see what it does? It just goes straight through them. So now, it doesn't damage the leaves.
You've talked a lot about the leaves and the fan shape and the little needles on them as well, but what's going on at the bottom? Do we need to pay attention to what's going on here?
As the plant weathers, so if I just take this label off, as the tree grows and establishes, you can see already you've got some shape growing here.
Yeah.
And as it grows and establishes, the outer leaves over the time will weather and need to be taken off, and that you take them off at the stem, and that's how that lovely pineapple shape develops. But look where the new growth is. All the new growth comes from the middle of the palm.
Is this the new
these
new
are
fan
all
coming
new.
here?
It's got 1, 2, 3 new fans growing in the middle. So that to me says lovely, healthy plant. So as it grows, it will develop. And remember, this will grow over a metre, metre and a half tall. But look at those lovely fans. See what I said about good behaviour? See how lovely and green all those leaves are? None of them are spiky, none of them are longer than the other, none of them are running away and trying to, you know, get in place. They just all grow so well together. It's as if they all behave themselves and grow well together.
They do indeed.
And so interesting as well, isn't it?
We've got a photograph here as well, which shows you what the kind of Mediterranean feel you can get to your garden if you've got that kind of fencing, Angela, as well.
Yeah, it is, and it sort of shows having Mediterranean plants sitting on your patio and decking straight away. They haven't been put into pots yet, and I actually would be putting those into maybe a terracotta pot or a ceramic pot, just to lift that area. But I love that sunshine, evergreen, nice shade as well. They you know, they make patterns as they get the light through them.
And would you say full sun is the best place for them?
Doesn't matter, but I wouldn't put them in a boggy area. But yeah, love sunny spot. You mentioned conservatories.
Yeah,
have them in a conservatory by all means, and just to enjoy having new, different and unusual palms growing in your garden.
It's fantastic. Look, what an opportunity, and what a fantastic price at £9.99, just on your P&P and call cost, of course. And if you're spending £50 or more, of course, there is no UK and P&P either, which is great news. So just jot down the item number, HG133872. That's the item number for this particular item. That's the pair of the hardy plants there. You can just call right now on the phone number at the bottom of the screen, 0911 690 1010. That's our phone number. You can order them right now by giving us a call, HG133872, or go to bidplus.tv. Great to have your company in the garden as always. Now, a must-have for anyone, of course, if you're ordering plants from us here at Bid Plus, is to grab the compost. I know many of you do when you're enjoying watching Bid Plus and enjoying ordering your plants, but we thought we'd just spend a few moments with you just to tell you a bit more about this particular compost that comes to you from Holland and why it's so special. And while you're there, I mean, look at the value again. It's £9.99. It's a huge 80-litre bag that you've got there of the Pro Compost, and it's going to be delivered. That's a great thing. You don't need to choose any compost at the garden centre. You don't need to lug it home. You don't need to pop it into the boot of the car or try and take it on the bus if you don't drive. It will be delivered to your place. It's £9.99 plus P&P. To order it, HG127622 is the item number, and to order, well, dead easy. Just give us a call right now on 0911 690 1010, or of course you can order online at bidplus.tv. There's the web address. Now, Angela's with us. I know there's so many elements that go into making a good compost, but this particular one, Angela, seems to work so well with all the fruits and the berries and all the flowers and the plants and hanging baskets that we do, don't they?
It does. You can use it, Mark, for any of your gardening needs. But what's great about this compost is It's a professional grower's compost. So this is a compost that's used by professional growers who make their living out of growing plants. So they're going to use the best compost that they can, and this is something that's not readily available on the high street.
Well, good to know that you're getting the benefit of that professional quality of compost. What's in it and why is it so good?
Well, I'll tell you why it's so good. Number one is, if you notice that I love actually touching it, and it's really lightweight. So if it's really lightweight, it means that young plants and roots can find the goodness that they need. They can find the water, the nutrients that they need through this compost.
Wow, and it is light. Isn't that a funny thing to say? But I'm surprised.
Really
you
lightweight.
know, when you pick up soil from the ground, it's got a weight to it. I know it's got water in all in it, but that is really lovely, a gorgeous texture.
And if you can see, it's got little fibres in it. Those fibres are composted wood fibres.
Right.
And they are there to add drainage to it. It's made up of Baltic white peats, which really feel like sphagnum moss.
Right.
They feel so lightweight, it could be moss.
And that's all nutrients.
Well,
Rich.
It's got lots of nutrients in there to get your plants growing, but it's also got a starter fertiliser in here.
Ah, now look.
And
is that what that is?
Yeah. And that's a slow release fertiliser, which means there's even a feed in here, which is going to give your young plants their start to get going, to get growing.
Does that then dissolve with watering? Is that
no,
how
it stays. It's a slow release, which means it just absorbs into the roots of the plants as they're growing.
Brilliant.
Because what happens when you plant up young plants, two things that they need.
Yes.
They need to find food, they need to find water.
Like anything.
So if you've got a really lightweight blend, young roots get established very quickly. If you provide a larder of food for them at the same time, you've stopped them having to spread their roots too far. So it means they're going to put their energy then into producing fruits and flowers.
Right.
So that's better for you as a
That makes
gardener.
sense.
It is.
Perfect sense.
But for me, as a using it around a garden, whether it's in pots, hanging baskets, containers, any raised beds, anything to do with container growing, you want a lightweight compost, but you want the perfect blend between water retention and drainage. That's what this provides.
I mean, obviously ideal for anyone, Angela, ordering the hanging baskets today, the easy fill hanging baskets that you can see on the website and you may well see during the day on Bid Plus.
It's really perfect, but there's another two reasons to get this compost.
Sure.
One is because you can't get it on the high street and it's a grower's compost, but two, it's 80 litres.
I know. Now,
there's a full bag. Oh. My bag isn't full because I've already used some of this, but you've got a full bag there.
I've struggled to pick this up before. I mean, it is...
it's
a really weighty bag. I mean, that is a big bag. You should really sort of bend your knees, shouldn't you?
Notice
Health and safety will be on to us, Angela.
Well, they will. Actually, 80 litres...
It's still heavy.
It is. And don't forget that being a professional compost, you don't see prize marrows or tomatoes or decorations on the outside of the bag.
No.
This is grower's compost. This is the best you can get. Which is
fantastic news, so don't miss it. Every time we do gardening, this outsells everything else. You absolutely love this compost. It is a superb one for you to be ordering at home. It is HG127622. There's still time to come in. In fact, you can order any of these items at any time of day or night here on Bid Plus. We're open 24 hours a day on the phone number down there, 0911 690 1010. I recently bought myself a beautiful Karcher window vac at about 11 o'clock at night. It's fantastic. It takes a few days to come and then it's with you. So we'll answer your phone call. We will take your payment and delivery details and then it will be with you in no time. But look at the price of it, $9.99. If you want to order more than one, you're more than welcome to do that. Just factor in the P&P and the call costs and so on. And remember, if you're spending £50 or more, then there isn't any P&P to even think about because we take care of that for you. But what a brilliant compost. We've had it, Angela, for all the time we've been doing gardening at Bid Plus, and it's a perennial favourite.
It is, and it's a grower's favourite. People that make their living out of growing plants use this compost, and they have to have a really reliable compost, which means from the top of the bag to the bottom of the bag, it needs to be good quality. And quite often, you may have found that you might have bought a regular compost that's very dark when you open up the bag.
Yes.
And sometimes it even looks like it's slightly mouldy because it hasn't got the right balance in it. Now this has the absolute right balance of nutrients, of lightweight, of drainage because it's got composted wood fibres. It's got really light white peats in there, which means plants can get well established in there, and even for houseplants.
And that consistency goes from the top all the way to the very bottom of the bag. I mean, if you dig right down into that bag now, you'll still be pulling out the same consistency of lightness, of slow fertilisation and feed and so on, all the way through.
Absolutely. So, you know, if you want to get the best out of your growing in your gardening, from fruits to vegetables, from seeds to trees, I can't think of a better way to give them a good start.
Well, look out for strawberries, look out for some very special pink blueberries that are coming up, or other fruits, aren't there?
There are lots of fruits that we grow here and that you know we've had lovely success with. And so for you at home, you know, give it a try and see how you feel. But you work hard in your garden, having a great medium for all your pots, containers, and to improve the quality of the soil in your beds even. Put some of this in it as well when you're planting up young plants and trees.
I think the other thing too is when we go to the garden centre or the DIY shops, we're faced with all of these different bags, aren't we? And they've got different compost for different things, and there's grow bags for tomatoes, and there's all sorts of different things. And you're not quite sure which one to go for. Well, I'm doing hanging baskets today. Do I get that one? But then I maybe want to grow some vegetables or some strawberries. Which one do I go for? But this one, Angela,
it's universal. What we've taken the mystery out of, except for ericaceous plants. There is plants that need a slightly different compost for acid-loving plants, but otherwise absolutely fine all around your home.
Let me show you some gorgeous hanging baskets that were created using this very compost. That's what we're talking about. This Pro Compost from Holland was used in these baskets, and just look at the results that you can achieve when you've got all of those gorgeous elements coming together, as Angela's been talking about, with that fertiliser, with the lightness, Angela.
It is, and it is that lightness. Just think about it. Young roots need to find food and water. Give them the home to enable them to do that and get established.
Oh, look, it is brilliant. You couldn't do better than this. And to have it delivered to your home is just £9.99 for the compost, £7.99 for your P&P plus your call costs. But if you are spending £50 or more, then of course there's no P&P to pay either. What do you need? You need the item number. That's all you need. It's right up there. It's HG127622. Give us a call right now, 0911 690 1010. Welcome to the garden here at Bib Plus. I'm Mark Pickett. Now, this next item, Angela tells me, needs a massive drum roll because of that, the price. And we're talking about the hardy delphiniums. Now, this is something that's going to be coming back year after year after year. This is something that's going to give you an absolute wall of colour, if that's what you're after, at the back of the garden, because they will grow up to 2 metres tall. They give you that fantastic cottage garden look to your garden. It's absolutely stunning. The bees will love them. The butterflies will love them. If you want to grab them, get in nice and early. They are £7.99 and they are on item number HG143725 0911 690 1010 is our phone number. Angela's bursting to show us these because they are extraordinary value, Angela, aren't they?
Delphiniums are beautiful flowers. If you go to any of the, there's lots of places you can go. If you go to any of the beautiful country homes in the UK in the summertime, you're going to see delphiniums growing. If you go to any of the country houses with walled gardens, you're going to see delphiniums growing. If you go to any of the flower shows across the country, people love delphiniums. So we've got a really amazing collection of beautiful delphiniums with all lovely varieties, from that beautiful black knight, which is totally a dream.
Well, you can just imagine the bumblebees.
I just don't want to talk when I see that flower.
You can imagine the bumblebees, Angela, can't you? Just getting right into that stamen there and doing what bumblebees do best.
They love them.
The butterflies that they attract.
And if we just look at that whole collection as a whole,
yes,
the colours complement each other. The flowers complement each other. They are tall soldiers and spires of amazing flowers. And each one of those lovely spires, if I just take one of them here, like Summer Skies, is made up of lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of individual flowers. They're long flowering. They can grow really 1.5 meters tall, 4, 5 foot tall.
Right.
They are amazing.
And they're perennials, aren't they?
They're perennials. They come back year after year in your garden. They're hardy.
For an £8 investment as the product price,
oh my gosh,
you know, you're getting
just to say $7.99.
$7.99. You're getting 6 different varieties, 2 of each.
Unbelievable. It is unbelievable gardening. $7.99. You're going to get 12 of these stunning long flowering. These go flower from right the way through, from the summer months all the way through to October, November. They're amazing as cut flowers. They are easy to grow. As you said, they're a magnet for bees and butterflies for your garden. They are one of our garden favourites because they're easy to grow and they're guaranteed. They are guaranteed to come back in your garden because they're used to the UK climate.
And they naturally die down in the winter, do they?
Naturally die down in the winter. Back. You can take them, you can use them as cut flowers. People love to have these as cut flowers as well. But we may be having this collection varieties that you may not have seen before.
Well, talk us through the different ones then. Let's have a look.
If I start from the top, okay, we've got a Stola at the top. Lovely pink, really pretty solid pink colour in that one. And then this is one of my true all-time favourites, Black Knight, because it shows up so well against green. It really does look lovely, and it's lovely to take pictures of.
Is it named because you've got the black stamen?
Yes, because it's got the black centre to it, and because it's got that midnight blue as well for the colour of the flower petals. The next one, I think this is really unusual and not one that many people have seen, Cherry Blossom. And again, it does look like cherry blossom on a stem.
Right.
So very pretty one to grow.
Absolutely.
And I would grow that one. They all come clearly labelled, but I would grow that one next to Summer Skies because actually having the pale blue and the pale pink together look amazing. And then we get next to the next one, Maggie Fountains. Now this is particularly strong. And again, it's got lovely big flowers that when you grow it next to King Arthur, I'd put King Arthur and Maggie together. Again, very pretty flowers that complement each other. Easy to grow. Tall, height and colour in your garden every single year.
Look.
Bees and butterflies looked after and more money in your pocket.
And if you've got maybe an area, it might even just be a bit of concrete slab or a bit of fence that really just needs to be filled in with that colour, this is it. This is what will do that for you. Not 6 of them, but 12 of them. You've got 2 of each of those varieties for £7.99. You can call and order them right now by giving us a call on 0911 690 1010. You just need that item number up there, HG143725, and they will be on their way to you fresh from the nursery. But let's talk to Angela a bit more about how we might be able to get more out of how we display them. Should we do them in a row like soldiers, or can we group them into a bit of a circle or something?
I wouldn't grow them in a row like soldiers because I'm a little bit... I like things to look a little bit more natural. Right. So quite often I would zigzag.
Less formal. You're not a formal garden girl.
No, I'm not a messy gardener, but I don't like things to look. I like them to look like they were growing there already.
More organic, like a wildflower.
Yeah, zigzagging them works. But if you want to grow them in pots, nothing to stop you growing them in pots, and then you can move the pots wherever you like.
No, I mean to me,
look at the plants.
They've got a bit of a look of a foxglove.
They do, but they are better behaved than a foxglove.
She's off about her behaviour again.
It is the flowers all grow together.
Right.
So they make this solid stem of colour, whereas the foxglove, they're a little bit more separate. They say that I prefer a delphinium to a foxglove, but I can't believe I said that. I shouldn't ever prefer one flower to another. It's like saying you prefer one of your children to another. But look at that lovely root system. This shows you the quality of the plant that you're getting. And you're getting nursery plants that you wouldn't normally be able to buy on the high street. So you're getting a grower quality plant delivered straight from the nursery to you at home, ready to plant and ready to flower this summer.
Right.
Ready to give you these tall spires of beautiful variant colour from that beautiful cherry blossom.
And look,
Black Knight.
We can see one coming already. If you have a little look at this one here, it's already starting to sprout in here, which is exciting to start to see, isn't it?
I mean, that just shows you the quality of the plants, Mark. So they are top quality plants, ready to start growing, ready to start flowering in your garden. Once you plant these, wherever you plant them, every year they'll multiply, so
Right.
you can divide them, you can get more out of them.
Right.
You can grow them happily in plants, and as you said earlier, they will die down in the winter time, and it doesn't matter if we get frosty weather, cold weather, every year they'll want to produce more and more. And if you like to go in for, you know, the country garden look, these look perfect.
Yeah.
If you've got a very modern garden, what's lovely to do with these is grow them into very, very simple pots, like, you know, using black or silver pots. And actually, these can look amazing in a very modern garden as well, because the colours are so lovely.
Right.
And they really are strong and tall. So lovely, elegant flowers, but growing en masse. Oh my goodness, just get nature wafting into your garden. Get those flowers, the bees, the butterflies, take pictures and enjoy them.
What about people who haven't done much gardening? Would they be okay with something like this?
Well, a hardy perennial means that it comes back year after year in your garden. So what's lovely for you as a new gardener is you take one of these delphiniums, plant it into your garden, plant it into the pots, and the more you just need to know that these are going to go tall rather than worry about their spread. So just make sure that if they're at the front of a border, they're going to hide something that's small behind it.
Yes.
So you might want to place these further back into a border.
Sure.
If you're growing them into pots, it doesn't matter, because just know that they're going to grow to about 3-4 foot tall, but look lovely all summer long, and long flowering.
Hardy, long flowering, perennials, £7.99. I mean, really, we cannot go wrong with these. You've got the 6 different varieties. You're getting 12 of those plants all together. You can get yours right now by giving us a call. It's HG143 725. That's the item number for your hardy delphiniums, a pack of 12, 0911 690 1010. Call and order yours right now. Welcome to the garden. Get off. Welcome to the garden here at Big Plus. I've got the Phantom Sprayer. Come on, Angela, you might as well come in. She's doing the Phantom spraying, aren't you? We've got the oleanders coming up for you now. These are the standards. Lovely to have your company as always.
It's lovely to be here.
You can't resist, can you?
I love these plants.
I know you do. Let's give everyone the item number first of all. They're HG133710. Now, these are the kind of plants or standards we see, Angela, in Spain or Greece or so on by the roadside. And they just give this wonderful fragrance and floral display, don't they?
They do, but I mean, to be a standard plant, it's a funny word, standard, because it sort of sounds ordinary, doesn't it, Mark?
Yeah,
yeah. But a standard means it's on a long stem. So these are specially grown so that we can have the elegance, the colour, and the enjoyment of having the Mediterranean oleander, but at the top of a nice, strong stem.
So this has been purposely done to give them that height.
Exactly.
And that's what you call a standard when you've just got that sort of long part.
So they grow to, these are actually growing probably about 2.5, 3 foot tall already. So this is already in bud, ready to flower on your patio, in your garden this summer. And these are just so special. Just look, that's just one of the flowers already. These are smothered in buds. They're smothered in evergreen leaves. And whether or not you want to have these just as a welcome to the front of your house, or maybe as an entrance to your garden or your patio,
I mean,
they're so unusual.
Like we know, like with furniture, we define space, and I think you can do the same with something like the standards, can't you? Like you say, either side of an entrance area to guide people in. Like they do in restaurants, don't they? And they put standards out the front.
They do, and that statement says whether or not, you know, if you see lovely plants growing outside a restaurant, like maybe a couple of bay trees or some lovely flowering plants, you go, oh, that's going to be a nice restaurant.
You do, don't you? Automatically.
That's a bit of an assumption.
I know, but we think that though, don't we?
We do, and that's that same feeling that you get. You get that welcoming feeling when you come home and you're visited. You walk into your front door, and that's what's outside your front door. It does lift your spirits. It makes you feel good. You look at your house, you think, wow, doesn't it look lovely? You look around your patio and think, oh, those flowers are so lovely.
But you're also buying something today that you actually don't need to do anything with. These will come to you fresh from the nursery, won't they?
Yep.
Packed in their mini greenhouses. They're 26...
Oh, well, no, these won't be in a mini greenhouse. These will be actually really well boxed. So these come to you boxed straight from the nursery. And because they are large trees, these are already about over 3 foot tall.
Right, a metre.
So, but you're quite right. They come straight from the nursery with growers that spend their lives nurturing, growing and packing and distributing plants.
So do we need to do anything with them when they arrive?
Well, I'd like to say you do very little with them altogether.
Well, that's what I'm loving.
These are easy to grow.
That's what I'm loving.
It's hard to
Do I need to repot them when they come?
No.
Right.
I actually don't,
So
I don't think I would repot these. Quite often I do say, with a lot of the plants we grow at BID, I would say repot them this year. These, you can, by all means, put them into a new pot if you want to. You can. I wouldn't put them too large a pot because you're going to then pass the message to this lovely tree to say, oh, grow more roots too quickly, and then it will forget what it's doing this year.
But if you wanted something a bit more decorative than the plastic one it comes in, could you keep it in that pot, put that inside, say, a terracotta,
or you can
and then put some compost over the top and put some flowers in it?
By all means. It's not necessary to repot it, but you can.
Right. That look fantastic news. What I'm loving here is the fact that you've got instant plants, instant trees that you don't need to do anything with, but will make your house look fantastic. And all that gorgeous flowering is going to be there for you this summer. £26.99 for the pair of them, HG 133710. That's your item number for them. 0911 690 1010 is our phone number at BID Plus. You can dial an order for these at any time, not even when we're on right now, 24 hours a day, or from the website bidplus.tv.
Can I just lift one up for you, Mark? I just want to show you the size of these because I think it's not always easy for people to realise the height and size of these, but actually 2 of these delivered to your door. Yeah. If you have these, really, the impact that you're going to get, imagine these as a wedding gift for somebody.
Well, I'm just thinking.
That you can decorate the stem. You can put ribbons, put a pink ribbon on these. If somebody's just
had a ribbon.
No, wait. If somebody's had a baby girl.
Yes.
And deliver these as a present, and every year when those beautiful pink blooms come out, there's a congratulations on the birth of your daughter or granddaughter. How lovely would that be? Well, aren't they gorgeous? And they keep their leaves. They're evergreen, so they keep their leaves. Every summer they will produce flowers, and they're long flowering. These flower all the way through the summer months, and if you go away on holiday and you forget to water them, you know what they'll do? They'll be right. They'll keep flowering. Because they do in Spain, don't they? Correct. You know, like if you see them as wildflowers at the side of the road, a dusty track, for example, that doesn't see rain for so long. But, I mean, like you said earlier on, that parts of Spain can get very cold in the winter. I was in Madrid one November, for example, and the nights were almost down to freezing, and there were frosts out in the outlying areas. So are these hardy down to... They're hardy to about -6. Right. But actually, these are really established. So if you did want to put these in, as say, for instance, you wanted a centrepiece in your front lawn. Yes. Then during severe weather, I would just mulch the top of the ground around them. That means put a few layers of either wood chip or some manure or compost on the top. Okay. And then maybe just fleece in the really horribly nasty we only really get a couple of weeks of really worse than -6. Sure. Otherwise, 2 things. If you're concerned and you're in Scotland and you think, well, we've had some really severe winter this year, enjoy them on your patio, enjoy them in the garden, leave them in some pots, and then in the winter time, bring them in as a house plant into your conservatory or porchway or your living room. And I think what's nice as well is you've got the height, you've got the size of them to begin with. We're not starting with a really... We've done some small oleanders, haven't we? Yep. Which would have made nice little bushes and things, but these are already established. Well, how old would they be? Well, hold on. I would say to you, if I'm going to say to you for value, Mark, one of these, this is already probably about 5 years old. Right. One on its own is great value. 2 is... It's questionable. I truly question that you could find that value anywhere in the UK. So I know we're offering you a pair of really special trees, flowering, evergreen, that is great value, that is already established, that is in flower, that is in bud, and it's going to make your garden have that Mediterranean feel about it with no work. Well, I think people realise at home that, you know, if you're going to go and buy mature trees for a garden, maybe you're moving to a new house and, you know, you want to put a mature tree in, they're very expensive because the work's had to be done. Someone else has had to do all of that growing for that number of years. Well, yeah, and grafting. Don't forget, these have been grafted onto that straight stem. So again, that's years of care and attention to get the tree to thrive and establish. So really, really happy with these trees, and I really love the fact that they are flowering. We're used to seeing standard trees, but unlike a rose tree, a rose standard would produce lovely flowering flowers. But it's not evergreen. a bay tree produces lovely green evergreen leaves,
yes,
but doesn't flower.
Sure, sure.
This oleander standard, not only does it flower and produce these lovely pink flowers, but it's evergreen too. So we put 2 trees in one.
You have, and you can see the gorgeous buds and the flowers that are on there right now. And look, these are going to be coming to you already flowering more
Yep, all
likely.
in bud. What you see is what you get.
Which is fantastic. So all you've got to do, it's dead easy, decide where you'd like to put them. Or maybe you keep one and give one to your son or your daughter for their place. I mean, entirely up to you, but you're getting both of them for $26.99 plus P&P and your call costs. All you need is the item number, HG133710, and then give us a call, 0911 690 1010, or you can order them online right now if you go to bidplus.tv. Great to have your company in the garden. What a fantastic set we've got for you now. This is a 16-piece pot set. What it gives you is 8 hooks and then 8 brackets. And if you're struggling for space, maybe where you've got your hanging baskets and your pots and so on, but really you just need to use some vertical space, or you want a lovely vertical display for all of your gorgeous flowers and trailers and so on, then this is definitely the answer. And look at the price, a fantastic value again at just £12.99. HG141850 is the item number here. Great for trailing plants, things like your petunias, your fuchsias, your geraniums or your begonias. If you want to grab this right now, you can call an order. HG141850 is the item number, and 0911 690 1010 is our phone number. And it seems like a fantastic system, Angela, for vertical display of trailers and hanging baskets and so on.
It is, and it's a unique system. Now, I first saw this in America, and
right.
It's not a system that you can get on the high street, but it's a great way to cover up any fence area,
yes.
Use posts, walls, anywhere that you would like to have some colour. You can put up a hook, which has an arm on it that attaches, that you can use as a hanging basket bracket.
Yeah.
You can put up a hook that can hook up and hold a terracotta pot that looks like it's suspended.
It
and
does.
if you see it here, I've got one underneath it, planted up. And where's the pot disappeared to, and how is it attached? It's attached using this unique system.
Well, can we just pause there a moment, just so I can get my head around this? Can you pass? Do you have one of these hooks?
Yeah, I just want to show you how they work. So I've got one here ready to show you how
I
it
knew
actually
she'd be
works.
organised. She's always so organised, our Angela. Shall I hold that there?
Well,
and then you can, or do you want it?
If I have it this side.
Okay.
So because it's that way.
Okay.
So if
Got
you were the wall,
I'm the
and
wall.
you're going to hold that way.
Right.
So you're a wall.
Okay, I'm a wall.
And then I'm going to take a pot.
Yes.
And I'm going to put the pot through the lip.
Yeah.
And hold that in place. There you go. There you go. There you go.
Oh.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh, now
Isn't
you've
that
got
clever?
it. That is now suspended.
The penny's just dropped.
Now you've got. Now that could be on a fence post, that could be on a wall, anywhere that you would like to have a lovely pot growing.
No wonder you got excited about these.
So that could be
loving
outside
it.
your back door with
Can you
some
just do that one
herbs
more
growing.
time? Pot, hook.
Yes.
Okay. Then maybe I can do it myself
Yeah.
this time because I'm the
Yeah.
wall. So I'm doing that.
Yeah.
I'm hooking that over.
Yeah.
And then that just.
And it just holds in place.
And I'll let go.
It's magic. So each time
Brilliant.
you do it, you've got a unique way of transforming an area of your garden and having a pot suspended and plants growing in the pot. In fact, I saw a great makeover of a restaurant on a television programme, and they'd actually use these hooks to suspend pots around the restaurant with terracotta plants inside.
Just before you go on, I was holding that just to show everyone at home the 2 fixings that you've got there.
It comes with all the screws and fixings,
exactly,
but there's more.
Yeah. All right.
As with everything that we have here at Bit Plus,
Can you tell she's excited?
Watch.
Go on then.
There's your hook. Okay.
Yes.
Now this is all very clever, but what if I wanted to hang up a hanging basket bracket or a nut
Are you
feeder
not
or a
upside down
lantern?
there?
No, watch now. I'm going to take my bracket.
Yep.
And I'm going to click it in place. Now this is so strong. Watch here. I've got a hanging basket hanging on the same system.
This
and
is
there's
a
my
brilliant
basket.
system.
And I've got, may I just look at here? Here's a nut feeder. What about if I wanted to hang a nut feeder? Hang a nut feeder, hang a lantern. You choose what you put, but this is unique.
You've just solved the problem for me now with this.
What's here?
Perfect.
I'm going to have another one here.
Look, this is ideal.
But wait, have you changed your mind?
I
It's
haven't
so
changed it.
strong, it doesn't matter how many times I do this.
Right.
It is such a strong system.
Now, this
that
plastic's not going to be deteriorating
no,
on me, is it?
the weight of the basket it can hold, the weight of the pots it can hold, whether you grow herbs, flowers, whatever you grow in them, just so versatile. Use them year in, year out.
So what a fantastic multifunctional system that you've got here. The item number for you is HG141850. I hope you've got to do it at home. It's pretty simple really, isn't it? You're getting 8 of the hooks and 8 of the brackets. Now, of course, they're interchangeable. You can just use the hooks if you want, or you can put the brackets on the end of the hooks. Entirely up to you. £12.99 is your bid plus price. Don't forget to add on your P&P and your call charge. 0911 690 1010 is our phone number, and the item number for you is HG141850. So Angela, you can use it with or without the brackets, can't you? Is that the idea?
With or without the brackets, you've got 8 of the arms,
Right.
8 of the brackets. So this time I've decided I want to hang a lantern on there. So I've now converted
Fantastic.
one of the arms and added one of the arms onto the hook.
I mean, the alternative would be going to the garden centre to try and find some wrought iron bracket, wouldn't it? Or some other kind of metal bracket.
Absolutely, and this way, it doesn't matter if you want just herbs outside your back door, you have the ability to transform an ordinary area like a wall, a fence, anywhere that's, even, you imagine if you've got a shed or a garage and it doesn't look that exciting, just pop up a couple of hooks.
Show us again
Every way that you've got a
these
hook.
are fantastic.
This is one of the hooks. It takes 2 screws that it comes with the screws to attach that flat bit at the back to a wall or a fence post. Take a pot. Take the pot, just put it on, and the pot is suspended in air. That means I now plant that pot. Now the weight is on that really strong hook, and we have plants growing here, which if I actually take this top one off, you can see here, oops, if I can pass you that one. If I took my pot off here, you can see underneath I have, there's my hook where I had my pot growing, and this underneath here, I have a pot growing.
You
and
do?
It's completely covering up that fence, but can you see the hook? You can't see the hook because all you can see is the flowers and the plants.
Could you then attach an arm to this?
I could attach an arm to that. So I might actually, I think I'm going to put a bird feeder in here.
Okay.
So I'm going to take the arm, and even trying to do this upside down and back to front.
No, you've done well.
I clip it into place.
So those 2 pieces come into the back
I'm now going to hang my bird feeder. So I've got lovely flowers, and I'm going to hang my bird feeder there, so my birds are going to get a feed as well.
It's just
what
brilliant.
a great system.
I think it's fantastic because you can interchange these. These arms can be interchanged with the pots, as you've seen.
Change your mind.
You can just suspend the pot if you want to do that. Once we've finished with the nuts, we think, okay, that's enough. That's enough bird feeding for one season.
Okay,
let's take that out.
The arm.
But let's maybe grow some herbs over those winter months.
So if you want to take the pot with the herbs, again, I've got some herbs growing here, and if I wanted to put them, this is a great way as well. If you just think outside your back door or your front door, and you want to have something like herbs growing, again, suspended. That is it. How easy is that? Can you see the, you can't see the hook now, Mark.
You can't see the hook. I mean, that's the thing. It's literally suspended. All you need is an area where you can screw the bracket into, and that could be a raw plug into a brick wall, couldn't it? Or
absolutely.
It could be into a wooden post, as we've got here. It could be a fence post.
Or on a shed or a garage. 8 hooks, 8 arms.
Brilliant. HG141850 is the item number for these. The 16-piece set, 8 pieces of hooks, 8 pieces of brackets, £12.99. Plus your P&P and your call costs, of course. Don't forget to factor that in. Just to give us a call right now if you want to order these on 0911 690 1010. Also, remember the special offer that if you spend £50 or more in one order here at Bid Plus, then there is no UK P&P to pay. If you're under the £50, you pay the price on the screen there. HG141850 is that all-important item number. What a fantastic system. Don't miss it. 0911 690 1010. Great to have your company in the garden as always. Now, we've got some fantastic ground cover for you, which is hardy and also a perennial, which is fantastic news. Also, look at the price, £8.99 for the Hardy Phlox collection. Beautiful flowers we've got here. You've got 2 each of 3 different varieties in this collection. The item number is HG141847. £8.99 is the bid plus price, plus UK P&P and your call costs. And the phone number to dial to order is 0911 690 1010, or you can order online at bidplus.tv. Now, the other great thing about these, of course, is the fabulous fragrance that you get from the phlox. And to tell us all about it, our wonderful green finger goddess, Angela's here again. Great to see you, Angela.
Lovely to see you too, Mark. With, something that we don't often think about is we love gardening and flowers and think about fragrance and all those things, but sometimes it's just nice to make gardening as easy as possible. And one of the words I love, 2 words I love in gardening, is ground cover.
Ah, right, yes.
Because the more flowers that you have that cover up the ground or cover areas that are possible that could grow weeds, the more flowers you grow, the less weeds you get.
Is that right, though? Is that a fact?
That is a true fact.
I
so
like that.
where they're smothered, where the weeds are smothered with flowers, they've got nowhere to grow.
Yeah, sure.
So phlox
Makes
is a
sense.
wonderful plant that produces hundreds and hundreds of these beautiful, beautiful flowers. This one's called Clouds of Perfume, which gives you an idea of the fragrance it produces. The next one in this collection is called Candy Stripe, which I think is really pretty. And if you look up close, that each of those little amazing white flowers has a lovely stripe to it.
They do, yeah.
And then when you look at the last one, this one is called Scarlet Flame. Stunning, really deep coloured, beautiful little flowers that flower during the summer months. Now, these are great for ground cover, and there's some really lovely areas to grow these. Whether or not you grow them just to spill over a wall or have, they sort of produce cushions of cover, about 15 centimetres tall, and they can grow 40, 70 centimetres in spreads. So they really do work hard.
How far apart should we plant them?
Well, you could grow these, I would say probably give them about 50 centimetres between each one, because they will over the years spread.
Yes.
Or, they're a hardy perennial. They're going to come back year after year in your garden.
That's the candy stripe one, isn't it?
That's the candy stripe, which is lovely, lovely, lovely. Easy to grow because they are a spreader and a hardy perennial. They're going to come back year after year. And it's like they just, if you tidy them up, they will just grow again. So again, they're quite hard working. And I love them. Can you see how straight away, this is just one of the plants, how it's already starting to spread before we've even planted it. So if you're growing, for instance, something like roses, sometimes it's really nice to have phlox growing amongst them so that you've got that lovely spread, because they spread, but actually they don't take up that much space with their roots. So they're not going to argue with the plants around them. They're just going to produce masses of carpets of colour. These do look amazing at the front of the house. If you have a wall growing at the front of your house, this is the plant that you need to grow to spill over that wall, and then every year just keep its evergreen and keep on flowering.
I love the idea of it, and the fact that they are perennials as well. So for that investment right now, £8.99 plus P&P and call is just fantastic value. If you want to grab yours right now, HG141847 is the item number. If you have just tuned in, it's Angela and Mark, and we're looking at the Hardy Phlox collection. You've got 6 of them all together, and then you've got 3 different varieties as well. So it's 2 of each, which is fantastic. 0911 690 1010 is our phone number to dial if you want to grab yours.
And these are happy, they're really quite versatile because they're happy in sun, they're happy in shade.
Yeah, oh, well, that's good news. I mean, we're never quite sure, with our climate as well, what's going to happen from year to year, are we? So, if they can cope with our summers and the rest of it, then brilliant.
And a lot of times in the past, people would have associated a plant like a phlox purely for ground cover in somewhere like a rockery. So
yes,
ideal
yes.
if you have thought, perhaps I'd like to grow a rockery in my garden. Well, this is a lovely way to start, because what you do is you plant plants like this, especially in areas where in your garden not much grows.
Right.
Put a few rocks at different layers and then let these grow. And what they'll do is they'll actually grow over the edges of the rocks, so they take away the sharpness.
Yeah.
If you grow them near pathways, we're learning more and more to actually soften the edges. Well, nothing nicer than to soften the edges with something pretty like phlox, because it's flowering, it's not just green.
I think when you do that as well, Angela, that you really make a home welcoming, don't you? If you put the ground cover in, if you are softening the pathways, if you start to cascade over walls and, you know, cover up some of that sort of masonry, the industrial look. It's really sort of embracing the garden and maybe going back to a bit more of what nature intended to be there in more of a wildflower kind of look.
It is, and these are pretty tough plants as well. If you actually feel that plant, Mike, get a feel of, of how it grows.
It is, isn't it?
It really is one
almost
of those
like
plants.
little spikes. I mean, I know they're not, but it's got the sense of that. It almost like
that's how it grows.
A moorland plant.
It is those little leaves.
A wild moorland plant, you might see.
Yeah, it is. It just feels a bit like heather. But actually it's not, and that's great. That's why it makes great ground cover.
It's got a lovely feel to it, but look at all these new buds that are appearing.
And it's not even planted yet.
I know.
And look at the lovely root system too. So that tells me lovely strong plants. So easy to grow, great for ground cover, produces cushions of flowers, but nice height to them too, so they don't just disappear and not get noticed, but over the years these establish themselves as a really permanent feature in your garden. Great way of smothering an area that you might struggle to fill it with flowers normally, especially near walls. It gets very dry, and quite often if you've got walls, you might have a lawn at the front of your garden, and in between the lawn and the wall, what do you plant? Plant phlox.
Can we look at those pictures again? For people just tuning in, just to show you the kind of flowers that you will get with these 3 different varieties. There's the gorgeous red one that would be you'll get 2 of.
That's lovely scarlet flame. That lovely, it's almost a neon mixture of a red and a neon pink. Then,
and what about the
candy
aroma?
stripe.
What about the perfume?
Yes, they're fragrant
All of them?
as well. Well, by having a fragrance, it means really it invites nature to your garden. So that's an attraction to them too.
Yeah.
So again, it keeps nature working in your garden. And I love the idea, if you've got some lovely areas in your garden that perhaps don't look so good because there's probably some border area that's a little bit bare, but you've got other taller plants growing. Plant some phlox in between, especially if you've got evergreen plants. Even if you've got something like leylandi that are grown a little bit taller, maybe their trunks are there, and then underneath there's nothing. Plant some phlox. Fill it up with colour. Fill it up with flowers.
Could they go in pots or not, if you just want to fill in the bottom of a pot?
Perfect. You want to grow these into pots, nothing to stop you have these growing pots. And what you can do, put them into some nice stone or ceramic pots or some terracotta pots. And again, let these just spread over the sides. Let them just work naturally.
Yeah.
The lovely thing about this particular plant is it's a natural growing plant. You can't give it a signpost and say, go this way. Because if you say go this way, it's going to go this way, that way, that way, and that way. It's going to spread its growth, and it's going to keep doing that year after year, and more flowers. Just lovely to grow.
Fantastic, and I love the fact that this is going to be coming to you in no time at all. You've got the convenience of shopping with us here at Bib Plus. I'm loving it as well, with things like hanging baskets and compost. It is so easy and convenient to get the things that you want, but knowing that they are coming to you absolutely fresh from the nursery. £8.99 is the Bib Plus price. Add in your P&P under call cost, of course. 0911 690 1010 is our phone number. Don't forget to dial that right now, or give us a call, or go to the website bibplus.tv. Don't miss out. Welcome to the garden here at Bib Plus. I'm Mark Pickett. Great to have your company as always. Now, we're going to be looking at some planters for you. We've seen loads of plants and hanging baskets and all sorts of things throughout the day here on Bib Plus in gardening, but we wanted to bring you some gorgeous planters to do all sorts of different things with, and Angela will join me in a second to show you what you can do. But let me tell you what you get. First of all, it's a pack of 9, and these are the hand-painted pastel finished etched planters, which are absolutely fantastic. They are frost and UV resistant, so both ends of the year really, with frost at the one end and the hot sun at the other end, they'll withstand both of those. Your item number is HG144841 if you want to order them. They're £14.99 plus P&P, and your call cost if you are dialing 0911 690 1010, or you can dial, you can go to the website bidplus.tv. So for things like bulbs, bedding plants, smaller shrubs, house plants indoors, and so much more, these are absolutely ideal. And Angela's joined me now and has planted one up already, haven't you?
I have. And what a great collection.
I know.
9 pots. This is great value. Not only great collection, but 9 pots in 3 lovely colours, and these are really quite unusual. So if I take you round the colours, which one would you like to go? Should we look at this one we got here on the top first?
Is that the silver one?
So this is a sort of slate grey. It does actually look like it's stone with etched leaf pattern on them, but they're plastic, they're weatherproof. They've got drainage holes on the bottom, which means they're perfect for growing outdoors.
It's like a plug hole, isn't it?
Yep. And that means it's got a raised bottom, raised drainage hole, which means when you sit that on the ground, it still drains away, so it means the plants won't get waterlogged.
Do you need to put rocks on the inside of it or anything like that?
Not really, because it's got that raised centre. No, there's taken out that necessity.
Oh, okay.
So, but if you did want to use this as a house plant holder, then if you want to use them indoor, either sit it on a saucer or put it with a saucer inside. So if you were using it indoors, then you wouldn't want to have a soggy floor or ground. But the first thing is that the colour stays. That to me is, if you've got a pot, you go into all the trouble of making your garden look nice. The finish is a permanent finish, but actually when you touch that finish mark, you'll see it's etched in.
It is indeed.
So it looks like that's carved into the stone.
It's like an indentation, isn't it? You can really feel that. It's not a relief, it's actually carved into the plastic.
So you're going to get 3 of those. Then I take you to that lovely green. Now look at this green next to the grey. So you're next going to get 3 of this lovely green colour. And again, same design, same lovely etched design, so they complement each other, but this time we've got a green base and a green colour. And then so you're going to get 3 of those. And then the collection improves. You're now going to get 3 of this lovely pink. And I think it's really unusual to see these lovely colours, but they're quite subtle. And when you start planting them up, you really, really realise how they complement the plants in your garden. So that green looks stunning. That pink looks stunning with all the greenery growing in it. So whatever you plant in it, you're going to get garden looking good by having uniform plants and by having 9 of them. Come on, this is great gardening.
Now look, something else I've noticed, Angela, is they've got little indentations at the top here. So could you use them for hanging baskets or no?
You could do, if you had hangers, you could hang them from those as well.
But they're normally just for...
They're normally for
sitting on the ground.
Sitting around the garden. Putting them on, what's nice is if you have a step area, imagine if you had a step area and you had these all the way coming down the steps at the side, how amazing. But it's really hard to get a full collection of plant pots that all look good. Look at those.
And they all match, but they're not too matchy-matchy because you've got the different colours, which is fantastic.
And I've got some flowering plants there, but I'm just going to take a shrub now. So I'm going to take a shrub and I'm going to put it into one of these pots just to give you an idea of the size.
This is my favourite shrub,
but I'm going to say why.
This is coming up soon.
There's a secret to why I've put this shrub into a pink pot, because actually this is a pink blueberry. So a little bit of theming, but it means you can have fun in your garden as well, and you could get this on the website.
You can indeed. So, watch out for this. It's a very special shrub indeed, and I think I'm going to be buying that later. But if you want to go for these etched planters, they are etched. As Angela said, you feel that sort of 3D etching on the surface of them. So you're getting 3 of the slate colour, 3 of the green colour and 3 of the pink colour. All 9 of them. £14.99 is the Bid Plus price, plus UK P&P, which is £7.99, and your call cost, which is 20 pence per minute from a BT landline, if you dial 0911 690 1010. You can order online, though, at bidplus.tv, and if you do order there and you put £50 or more into that one basket, then you don't pay any P&P. It's a special offer, and it's the same thing on the phone line. When you ring up, if you want this, Maybe you want to get some compost that you've seen on the website as well, or some other plants and things. If your total is more than £50, then again, there's no P&P to pay, which is fantastic.
And if you're a gardener who loves to grow extra plants, and I think lots of us get a little bit greedy during the growing season, we end up, especially if you've got a greenhouse, you may be one of these people that likes to grow plants and give them away as gifts, or even plant up lots of bulbs during the spring and summer months. Lovely to have a collection of pots that that perhaps, makes it a little bit affordable to plant out some plants and take them as a gift if you go visiting family and friends.
I love the bulbs, the hyacinths, in with the pink, maybe the pink and the blue. The dafts can maybe go in the green one.
Yeah,
the
and then even in summer flowering lilies and freesias and lots of lovely plants that we grow.
Perfect.
Herbs look amazing growing in these as well.
And they're contained. I mean, that mint that runs everywhere, you could actually contain some mint in one of these, couldn't you?
That is a really good idea, actually, because certain plants that do take over tend to sort of really want to get out of control. Great way to grow them in pots.
Yep.
So all around your garden, you've got these lovely and unusual pots. And I'm always looking for weatherproof pots because, Mark, as we plant up pots, once they start to get wet with water in them and you want to move them around, maybe, parts of the garden, you want to clean your decking, your patio, you want pots that aren't going to be too heavy that you can manage. But these aren't stone. They actually, some of them, especially the grey one, to me really does look like it's a slate, made of slate and it's etched. But it's not, it's plastic, so
and of
it's
course,
great.
They are frost resistant as well, aren't they, Angela?
So they're going to put up with the weather, put up with the sunshine, lovely to use outdoors. If you want to use them indoors though, please by all means do, but put a saucer underneath them or put a saucer inside just to protect your ground because it's got the drainage holes.
Now, size-wise, they're about a foot across or 12 inches, so they're all a fantastic size in terms of their diameter. And I think they'll be a good size to sit on top of a little wall as well, if you wanted to put a few of them together. And for herbs, for plants, for all sorts of things. That would look nice, wouldn't it?
Let's have three together in a row.
Oh, go on then.
Oh, look at that.
There we are.
So how nice does that look? So we got 3 of the green ones in a row together, and how nice would that look? You're
with strawberries in the middle and herbs either side.
Let's get growing.
Let's get growing. That should be the time of your TV series,
I can't do maths, but 9 pots.
I can't either.
That's good value.
Even when you add in the P&P and the call costs.
Still good value.
It's fantastic value.
And lovely pots, nice colours, really match any garden, and pots that maybe you haven't seen around. And I like to have something that's different, but also something that's not. This doesn't have a male or a female to it.
Yes.
This could be happy in anybody's garden.
They are brilliant. What great value. £14.99 gets you all 9 of these, which is superb. HG 144841 is the all-important item number. £14.99 plus your P&P and your pull costs. Dial an order right now on 0911 690 1010. That's our phone number. Or you can order at bibplus.tv. They're all about 12 inches in diameter. 3 of the pinks, 3 of the greens and 3 of the slates, all of those. So you've got so much there to use for all your bulbs and whatever you want to use them for, your herbs maybe. Don't miss out. HG 144841 is the item number. Let's whisk you off to the Canary Islands for our next item. Welcome, I'm Mark Pickett. Welcome to Bid Plus and welcome to the garden. These are 2 fabulous established plants, and I think we do this a lot in gardening here at Bid, that we give you something that the growers have already nurtured, already put a great deal of time and energy into growing and getting them really well established for you before they come to your place. And that's exactly what we've got here with our hardy Phoenix 2-pack. These are the date palms. The item number for them is HG 128755. That's HG 128755. If you'd like to order them, then you can give us a call right now on 0911 690 1010. And you may well have seen really big versions of these. Where are you, Angela? You disappeared.
I've gone to the Mediterranean, Mark.
Really big versions of them outside when you've been maybe to the Canary Islands or even down to Sydney in Australia, where I've seen massive versions of these. But we are getting really fabulous established plants, aren't we?
We are. Lovely quality palms, and it's so nice to have Mediterranean palms in our garden because it gives us an instant lift. It really does add structure, evergreen elegance, to our gardens. And, you know, we've sort of get a bit stuck in our ways in our gardening, and I think over the last few years we've really learnt through either TV or internet or through growers, and even, you know, for me personally, you know, growing up and going to visit places like Kew Gardens, we would have thought, well, palms are amazing.
Yes.
But not for our gardens.
Well,
when I grew up, they weren't in our gardens.
They weren't.
A friend of mine actually did have a canary date palm in his garden. Ah. And what he used to do is he had it on the patio in the summertime, and in the winter he used to bring it in and decorate it as their Christmas tree. And I did the same one year, which I think is really fun. So they have been around, but we've grown to know that now they are hardy to about -6.
Right.
They, over the years, become hardier. And around London, you'll see lots and lots of these palms growing, probably 30, 40, 50 years old. Up in Manchester, I've saw quite a few of them growing. So it's not till you open your eyes and you start to look around and say, hold on, that is a phoenix. And if I take you to a picture, it's at front of us here.
Yeah, we'll have a look down there.
There's a lovely picture. Now that's taken by one of our lovely companions here, Peter McDermott. That's actually taken in Torquay in Devon. Beautiful specimen of how this tree matures over the decades.
Well, if we look at the bottom of that, we can see how these fronds work, can't we? Because as they die off, they leave that sort of pineapple sort of base to them, don't they, Angela?
They do, because as the outer leaves weather, always on a palm, the palm weathers from the outside. So this outer leaf will eventually weather, and then you cut that leaf at the end, and that's how that pineapple base grows and emerges. Now these plants are ready to be repotted. You could put them into some larger pots, slightly larger than they are already. You can have them decorating your patio instantly. You don't have to wait for it to grow. This is already about 3 years old. Beautiful specimens, lovely, lovely structure to them. And as the light comes through these, especially, they make lovely shadows.
Yes.
They really do add different dimension to your plant.
And you would leave them in a pot, Angela, would you, rather than plant them out into the ground?
No, you can plant them into the ground,
Can
but
you?
if you do...
Even with the frost and so on?
Well, if you do, as I said, they're hardy to -6. You would have to protect them during those really nasty months.
Right.
So I know people that have planted these into the front of their gardens. They've got them there. I personally probably would plant them into a pot. And then maybe bring it in just for the first couple of years.
Right.
But it depends where you live in the country. North of the country, probably I would keep it in a pot. South of the country, probably leave it out in your garden.
Look, again, it's something that's instant. It's when it comes to you and it's delivered to your place, and they are in no time at all. It's something that's going to be used straight away. It's something that you don't have to do anything with. You don't have to create anything. You don't have to get any compost or anything. It's just ready to go as soon as it arrives. All you need to do is enjoy it. Decide where you're going to be putting it. Maybe to define an area. Perhaps there's a little dead spot on your patio area. Maybe even inside in the conservatory you'd love to get a palm in there. But bringing that touch of the Canary Islands to your place and doing it very affordably at £14.99 to get them, then just call us right now. The item number is HG128755. They're £14.99 for the two of them, and both of them are about 1 metre tall when they're coming to you. Add on the P&P and the call cost down there and give us a call, 0911 690 1010. Why are they called date palms, Angela?
Well, they do originate from the ones that would be producing dates, you know, in countries like Tunisia, Morocco and countries like that. But in the UK, it would be very unusual for you to get fruit from these. You might get, over the years, you might get some flowers forming, but it would be very unusual to get fruit. We don't have it hot enough in them to produce fruit. But we do have it hot enough for it to retain its leaves, stay evergreen, to give this difference. There aren't many plants. You think about our UK gardens. We're used to growing rhododendrons and laurels and lots of lovely evergreen plants. None with this beautiful structure and elegance that a palm produces. So you're going to have this producing a different look to your garden. And I think, you know, we are changing our ideas. We're spending a lot of time with barbecues and patios and outdoor living. These are outdoor living, there's no question about it. And maybe start to think about your garden in different areas. Maybe have a grow your own section. Maybe have a Mediterranean area and a country garden section. You can divide your garden up.
Yeah, right, yeah.
If you know somebody who has a balcony,
Yes.
or, you know, again, as a houseplant, as a gift, the value that you're getting here for two, again, I would say, you know, is really value for one. Because look, this is just one plant.
Where's that new growth
Just
coming
one.
from, Angela? Let's have a look there.
One plant, and all the new growth is coming from the centre. So I know that this is a really healthy plant, lots of lovely new leaves right in from that centre. So see all those lovely new leaves there? Absolutely fantastic how that plant grows. Really lovely. So I know I've got a healthy plant, I know I've got an established plant, but look at the size of that. That would be great for one, but you're going to get two of
Well, that's the thing.
A pair looks so great. I mean,
a pair of them.
That was lovely as an entrance to your... I like that as an entrance to the pathway going down a garden.
But they've got such a spread as well. I mean, not only are they around about a metre in height, if you look at the spread, because they do, on that picture we saw down there, didn't we? They actually really spread out.
Yeah,
so it's almost like 2 metres going that way.
They're nearly as wide as they are high.
Right.
So that's what I always say. So if it's going to be a metre high, it nearly will take up a metre in space.
Okay.
So really lovely, but elegance, evergreen. And there's no worry about what season you buy these. If you bought these in November, you could keep them indoors and have them as a house plant or a conservatory plant, but, you know, have them in a porchway and know that they're going to be looking just as good during the spring and summer months in your garden.
And is this variety native to the Canary Islands?
It is, yes, it is. But you will see them growing all over the Mediterranean and definitely now all over the UK. Very easy, very, very lovely because they don't drop any leaves or spines. And they just are so elegant, structurally and architecturally lovely for our gardens.
Very tidy plants, Angela. She likes that, let me tell you. You will love them as well. Where are you going to be putting these? Have you got a nice spot for them, perhaps? And that's what you could end up with, that kind of look after a number of years. Yours are established, though. They're about a metre tall when they're coming to you. They're £14.99, but for the pair of them, they are hardy down to about -6 or 7 degrees Celsius as well. To grab them, all you need is the item number HG128755. Give us a call right now. The phone number is 0911 690 1010 or bidplus.tv. Welcome to the garden here at Bid Plus. Mark and Angela with you. I just said to Angela, what is this? Is this ground cover? Is this baskets? What is it? She goes, no, it's everything. Right.
This is garden in a box.
Garden in a box. We love that. It's look at it. Look at this lot. It's absolutely massive. This is your perennial collection. 24, and we love this word, hardy, plug plants for £14.99, which is, if my math serves me correct, excluding your P&P and your call, it is 63 pence per plant, which is not bad, is it? 0911 690 1010 is our phone number. The item number, if you want to order this, incredible, HG136235. Are you right there? You're lining up on your pictures. There's so much to show.
Give you an idea of the impact that this collection gives you. This is just absolutely beautiful. You have got 12 amazing, colourful, easy to grow flowers that come back year after year in your garden.
Lupins.
Every single one a gardening favourite. Every one a different story, a different height, a different colour, easy to grow, puts up with all the weathers and come back year after year in your garden, from red hot pokers to delphiniums to hardy verbena to the beautiful, beautiful digitalis camelot. And then you've got lovely ones that you may not have seen before. I mean, there are some really lovely ones. Echinacea, which is cornflower. You've got a delphinium in there as well. And you're going to get 2 of every single one of these. There's Gaillardia. Now, this is one of the smaller ones. If I take you to one of the smaller sunshine varieties, look at that. We like Gaillardia because it's a really happy sunshine flower. But with that variety, sometimes you may not have seen that colour variety. And then next to it, just look at that growing next to that lovely lobelia. But it has really dark leaves. So straight away, you've got contrast. Now, if I gave this collection to you, Mark, and I said plant
Thanks,
this
Angela.
in your garden,
yes,
you'd say thank you
I'd
very
love
much.
That. I would.
But what would you get? You get some surprises because you may not have grown all of these flowers.
I haven't heard of some of them.
Yeah, so it is like being given, you know, a really great way of trying new plants, growing new varieties, but we've taken the hard work out because we're giving you varieties, A, that are very colourful.
Yes.
B, are very, very easy to grow.
Yes.
They're hardy, that means they come back year after year. And each one of them has a different reason to grow in your garden. So some will be tall and strong, some will be ground cover, some will, as this particular one loves butterflies. Red hot pokers, look at those. Absolutely tall and gorgeous. They come clearly labelled so you know which each plant is.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Healthy, delivered straight from the nursery. Beautiful quality plants. And I've got to say, I think, you know, for gardening people around, you must have areas in your garden that have struggled over the winter that we had last year. And having the chance to just fill up some of your garden with some gardening favourites, this is a great way to do it. And for somebody who's brand new to gardening, you're getting plants that once you plant them into the ground, they're strong, they're tough, they don't mind what our UK weather is, and they put up with all the weather.
I do.
yeah, but you come back year after year, and so do these. So I could call you a hardy perennial, Mark. But look how strong. They're lovely quality plants as well. So you're getting strong plants, really lovely. And the images that we showed you just give you an idea, this kaleidoscope of height and colour year after year in your garden.
Oh, look, they are sensational. What a collection you've got there. £14.99 for your 24 hardy perennial plug plants. I mean, you've got the lot here, you really do. The fact that they come back year after year, the fact you have so much variety, so much choice, different heights, all different jobs in the garden. They're essentially for your beds, Angela, aren't they, really?
They are for beds or pots. You can grow them in pots, but perfect in beds because they establish.
Brilliant. HG 136235. That's the item number. You'll need that if you want to order it. And if you want to order, you just dial the phone number down here, 0911 690 1010. It's 20 pence per minute for your call cost if you're calling from a BT landline, or you can order at bidplus.tv as well. Either way, if you are ordering £50 or more in the one order, that means that the no P&P offer applies to your orders if they're over £50. If they're under £50, then you pay the $7.99 per item. Okay, let's go back to what we're talking about here, because this just seems like one of the best packs, Angela, that we've ever done here on Bid Plus, and we've done a lot of gardening recently, which has been fantastic. You, by the way, are a massive inspiration in the garden now. You're getting us all excited about the garden.
Well, I've grown up with a lot of these plants,
Have
and
you?
I think not personally sitting in a bed and border, but I said there's a lot.
Because we've been busy watching you.
There's a lot of happy memories when you look at some of these, but there's also some that I've never grown, and I've, you know, perhaps, you know, that you might have that same thing at home, or you know, you might have family members that love their garden that can tell you about some of these plants. But you've got some lovely ones from Little Leo, which is the smallest one probably that's growing here, to the tallest one underneath it, which is the majestic delphinium. And that particular one, you know, lovely, tall, lovely, elegant flowers that can grow to a height of 4 foot.
I mean, the bees love those, don't they? The bees and the butterflies. It attracts all the wildlife to the garden.
Majority of these will attract the bees and butterflies. So that these will keep nature working in your garden. So lovely foxgloves, lovely colour, fragrance, colour all year, every year. So this is going to be that summer, when I say all year, all growing year. So this is all through your growing summer season. So right up to the first frost around November time.
And then they just die off naturally, do they?
Naturally, some of them retain some of their leaves. Others will die back down to base. But what's lovely about them is you know where you've planted them. Let nature do its bit, and every year they'll produce more flowers and more colour for you.
Now, come next year, do we need to do anything to get them going again, or will they just start to appear?
Absolutely nothing. But what you can do is early spring, you can decide, do you want to divide any? Do you want to to spread anywhere. I normally would leave them where they are for the first couple of years.
Yes.
The third year, I probably would start to say, well, actually, perhaps I'll have some of those delphiniums growing somewhere, some of the verbena, maybe spread it somewhere else as well, because they multiply. So really lovely plants. The lupins, again, lovely leaves to them, that gaillardia with that gorgeous bright sunshine effect to it. Those poppy-like flowers, look at those, aren't they just stunning? So you've got different heights, different colours, and I don't know one of these that wouldn't suit any of our gardens in the UK. Perhaps if you have, you know, not got a large garden and you decide that you want to make a perennial collection, get a couple of either long troughs or a few pots, plant them all together and watch these flowers grow, and you can create your own country garden
so you
in
can
pots.
You can do them in pots as well, can you?
But, you know, they benefit from being in borders, but nothing to stop you creating that cottage garden effect in layered pots, some taller than others. Put the lupins, the delphiniums and the foxgloves into pots at the back, and then have all the other ones around the front, and you'll get a country garden in pots.
Just incredible, isn't it? 63 pence each for these. Plus, of course, your P&P and your call costs, if that applies with the way that you're ordering. But just an amazing collection. 24 of the hardy plug plants to know that you're investing now, but next year and the year after and the year after, they'll be coming back and coming back for more. So HG 136235, don't miss them. They'll come to you in their own little mini greenhouses, fresh from the nursery. To order, dial 0911 690 1010 or jump online and go to bidplus.tv. Welcome to the garden at Bid Plus. It's Mark and Angela with you. And now every morning, well, most mornings actually, Angela, I go to the fridge and I get the blueberries out, and they go on top of the yogurt and the muesli, or they'll go on top of the porridge and things like that. And Angela said to me earlier on today, and someone else did as well, if you get one thing today from Bid Gardening, then this has to be the thing to get, because look, that is what you are going to be ending up with. Not blue blueberries, but pink blueberries called Pink Lemonade.
How lovely is that?
Look at the price, £8.99 plus P&P and call, HG 136096. Why are they pink?
Well, now this is again clever breeding, Mark, because why do you eat blueberries?
Because they're a superfruit, because they're really good for me and I love them with breakfast.
And what if I'd said to you, pink blueberries are 2 times sweeter?
Are they? I mean, the blueberries I'm buying are pretty sweet, let me tell you.
Right, these are 2 times sweeter. So these have been bred to be extra sweet.
Right.
But a different colour from a regular blueberry. And I think this is amazing work done by growers to come up with new varieties of a plant that we've already grown in the UK, and we've now learned that blueberries are good for us. To grow a blueberry plant is really best to grow them either into a pot, or if you plant them into the ground, you need to have ericaceous compost.
Okay.
Because if you know, they're an acid-loving plant, so you just got to be careful of the compost that you use to grow them in.
Okay.
Once you've established that, so I like to grow them into pots.
Yep.
Now, they're self-fertile, so they're quite happy growing on their own, but if you have more than one of these plants, they'll produce even more fruit. So they really would be happy with a companion, but if they didn't have a companion, they'll still fruit for you.
Okay.
What they do though is, number one, they produce, this is what you get. So you've already got an established plant that produces lovely green leaves that actually, if I just said to you, this is an ornamental plant from your garden, has a little bit of an oriental look to it.
Yeah, it does.
And you think, well, that's pretty growing in my garden. Then the bonus is that this will start to develop lovely pink flowers, and they're sort of bell-shaped flowers, and this one's just got bud here that's starting to flower there.
Right.
And then what happens as that flower forms, in the centre of that lovely pink flower starts to turn the fruit. And the fruit originally starts off as green.
Yes.
And then it goes from that green to the pale bluey, pale pinky green, and then it turns pink, and they go pinker and pinker and pinker until you go pop, and then you eat it.
To pick those and put those on my breakfast first thing in the morning would be amazing. I want to pick you up on a couple of things.
Yeah.
If I want to grab 2 of them, can I put 2 of them in the one pot?
Yep.
that's okay.
Absolutely
And they'll be happier.
They'll be happy growing together. They're quite happy growing in the vicinity of each other. So if they can touch each other's elbows, they're quite happy. So yes, they do complement each other.
Right.
Don't have to have two, but I love the idea. I always think there's a guarantee. If you have two of a plant that's fertile, it just encourages it to produce more fruit.
Okay.
This is a plant that you're going to grow for years.
Well, first of all, when is it going to flower and when is it going to fruit?
Well,
and
it's
how long will
a
it fruit
summer
for?
flowering and fruiting plant. So late summer, you'll get the fruit off it.
Yep.
Early summer, you'll see the flowers growing on it. Very little care and attention. I would feed it during the flowering and fruiting season.
Sun or shade?
Sun. Probably with most fruiting plants, you want to give it a bit of a sunny aspect so that it does get the ripening for your berries. Again, lovely plant to share with the family, because if you know that you've got members of the family watching fruit grow, they're more likely to eat it.
Well, exactly.
And if this is growing 2 times sweeter than regular blueberries, they're more likely to eat them.
Look, I think, I don't know what you pay at the supermarket, about a couple of pounds for a punnet of blueberries. I don't know, it depends on the time of year. Sometimes during the year it comes from Argentina and South America. Sometimes it comes from the UK. Now, a good friend of mine who's a nutritionist, an Australian guy, tells me that the blueberries grown in this country are more nutritious for some reason. He loves the UK blueberries. So that was him telling me, which is fantastic. That's what he said. I know that they are known as a superfruit. They are full of all sorts of goodness. I remember Oprah once talking about them, I think it was. Back in my mind somewhere. But anyway, if you love your blueberries, regardless of who said what, then this would be fantastic. £8.99, $7.99 for your P&P, HG 136096. What a fantastic idea. What a talking point.
Well, it is, and what a lovely plant to grow, because even if I said to you, this is a lovely plant to grow because it's got quite a bright green plant and it's very soft leaves, so it's really lovely to touch. Plus, then it gets a really interesting as it grows. It produces these pretty pink flowers. When the flowers set and then they produce the fruit, you've got those lovely pink berries growing on here. And then in the autumn time, all the leaves start to turn a lovely orange and then a deeper orange before they fall, which really means that right from the earliest part of spring, right the way through to winter, this is an interesting plant and a pretty plant to grow.
Would you need to put a stake or anything in as it grows tall?
No,
it's self-supporting.
Self-support, lovely strong stems, and it is the world's first pink blueberry.
Isn't that fantastic?
You're growing a world's first again. You're growing something that is exciting and different, but also it's a superfruit.
Yes.
So you're growing fruits that are good for us, and it's exciting because it's new and it's different. It becomes a talking point. This is gardening where everybody gets involved, Mark, isn't it?
And as you can see there, it comes in a 1.4 litre pot. It grows into about a 3-foot bush, so bear that in mind if that's the kind of space you're thinking. Absolutely safe to eat. It is one of the superfoods, as they call them, or superfruits, because it's full of all those gorgeous nutrition, and bears fruit to consume in August. And it is from the blueberry family, even though they're pink. And it's called pink lemonade, Angela, isn't it?
It is. I think that's a great name. Growers obviously have great fun, but you know, this is years of breeding to come up with new varieties.
Right.
And this is a hardy plant, so again, easy to grow in our gardens, not worried about the weather. And it is established, as you can see. I mean, you know, the new, the unusual, the different is what we really try hard to bring you. We try and bring you plants that normally you may not find on your high street. And by growing something good, we know that we are growing a fruit that's good for us, but a fruit that's full of antioxidants and goodness. Yes. We have that in our daily diet. We know we feel better. So I'm happy growing a product like this. Well, I'm happy to know that children watch this growing.
Definitely.
Eat the fruit because it's so sweet.
Do you know what else? I mean, I've talked about breakfast because that's how I tend to use them most of the time, but also with ice cream.
Oh no, I'm a yogurt lover. I love them with yogurt. Absolutely love them with yogurt. But unlike regular blueberries, which quite often I put honey on top, I wouldn't with these.
Oh, okay.
So it is.
You've got a very sweet tooth, have you?
I have got a very sweet tooth.
I don't find I need honey with mine, but anyway. I kind of like that little bit of tartness. There is a bit of tartness, though, isn't there?
There is.
Some of them. I agree with you. See, the ice cream takes away the tartness.
No, you're right, but the novelty. Can you see the novelty? The novelty in your household, having pink blueberries. And by saying again, Come
to my place, I've got pink blueberries.
Yeah, but
Come on
also
over.
by saying world's first.
I know, the world's first.
I love
and
that.
they're British.
As a gardener, we were terribly one-upmanship. World's first always works for me.
We've had a few world firsts on this show, haven't we? Hardy gardenias, I seem to remember.
We keep coming up with new ones.
I think it's a fantastic idea. If you'd love it, this is one of Angela's picks, let me tell you. £8.99 is all it is. HG136096, that's the item number. The pink blueberries, yes, that's exactly what they are. That breed called Pink Lemonade. £8.99 the bid plus price. Don't forget to add on your P&P and your call costs. 0911 690 1010, that's the telephone number, or you can order online right now at bidplus.tv. Enjoy those, enjoy the berries, enjoy the flowers, and enjoy your gardening.